Have you ever sat in your favorite chair, maybe holding a cup of tea, listening to the clock tick, or gazing out the window as the light shifts across the floor, and thought to yourself, I want to take better care of my health, but I just don't have the energy for long walks anymore? Maybe the idea of taking a 30-minute stroll around the neighborhood feels more like a chore than a joy. And if your knees hurt or your balance isn't what it used to be, it can feel discouraging, even a little defeating. If that sounds familiar, let me reassure you, you are not alone. And more importantly, you are not failing. The idea that walking is the gold standard for senior health is common, but it's not the full picture. In fact, you can stay strong, energized, and vibrant even without walking miles every day. That's not a dream. It's a reality, backed by science and by the lived experience of countless people who have discovered smarter, more compassionate ways to care for their bodies. So let's take a breath together. Let go of any guilt you've been carrying. Let go of the pressure to keep up. Let go of the idea that health only looks one way. You deserve strategies that meet you where you are, not ones that push you beyond what's sustainable or enjoyable. So grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and stay with me until the end. You might hear something that brings you peace, clarity, or even hope. Let's begin with a truth we often forget. Your body was designed for movement, yes, but also for adaptability. And sometimes, the smallest adjustments in your daily routine can create the most profound changes. Let me introduce you to someone. Her name is Helen. She's 72, a retired teacher with a sharp wit, a love for crossword puzzles, and a pair of knees that have seen better days. For years, Helen believed that staying healthy meant going on long walks every morning. But as her joints began to ache more, she found herself dreading those walks. Eventually, she stopped, and with that came a wave of guilt. I'm not doing enough, she told herself. I must be lazy. But Helen wasn't lazy. Her body was asking for a different kind of care. That's when she learned about a method that didn't just accommodate her limitations. It actually improved her strength and mobility without the pain or pressure walking. And it all started from the comfort of her favorite chair. That brings us to the first game-changing hack. Hack number 1, activate your muscles while sitting. The sit strong method. This isn't about being passive. It's about reclaiming power in moments you never thought counted. Every time you sit in a chair, you have an opportunity to engage your body in subtle but powerful ways. Here's the science. When you contract your muscles, even gently, it signals your brain that those muscles matter. It triggers blood flow, builds strength, and even improves your metabolism. And you don't need a gym or fancy equipment. Just a chair and a few minutes a day. Start simple. Sit upright, feet flat on the ground. Press your feet gently into the floor while tightening your thighs for 5 seconds. Then release. Repeat that 10 times. Then place a small pillow or rolled towel between your knees. Squeeze gently. Hold for 5 seconds and release. That's it. These are isometric contractions, static exercises that build strength without movement. Now, let's take it a step further. Try toe raises. While seated, lift your toes while keeping your heels on the floor. Feel the stretch in your shins. Then alternate. Lift your heels while pressing down with the balls of your feet. These movements engage your calves, ankles, and core, all essential for stability and fall prevention. Over time, you can add light resistance. A small water bottle held at your chest. A can of soup in each hand for bicep curls. Or simply press your palms together firmly and hold. These small actions have a big impact. Why does this work so well for seniors? Because it respects the body's need for joint-friendly, low-impact movement. And because it doesn't require perfect balance, a trip to the gym, or whether that cooperates. It fits into your life, not the other way around. In fact, studies show that chair-based strength exercises can significantly improve bone density, circulation, posture, and even mental alertness in older adults. It's not just physical, it's psychological. When you feel stronger, you feel more in control, more capable, more alive. Helen started doing sit strong exercises for just 10 minutes a day while watching her afternoon shows. At first, it felt silly, too easy. But after 2 weeks, she noticed her legs didn't ache as much when she stood up. She felt steadier in the shower, Her back didn't hurt as much when folding laundry. And perhaps most importantly, her confidence returned. And you know what? That confidence ripples out into everything. It's not about chasing your younger self. It's about embracing your current self with wisdom, care, and smart choices. Now let's go even deeper. Have you ever noticed how on some days your body feels heavier? Not because of weight, but because of mental fatigue? It's as if your brain and body are out of sync. You know what you should do, but you can't seem to get started. That sluggishness, that fog, it's not just age. It's something we can address. Because the next hack isn't about your legs or joints at all. It's about your brain. And when you hear what it can do, not just for your balance, but for your energy, memory, and joy, you'll understand why it might be the most powerful shift of all. Let's keep going. What comes next might change the way you think about health forever. Part 2, healing the brain to energize the body. Let's return to that quiet moment. The one where you wonder, why don't I have the energy I used to? It's not just your legs that feel tired. It's not just your body that feels heavier. Sometimes it's like a cloud has settled over everything. You walk into a room and forget why. You pause mid-sentence, searching for a word that's just out of reach. You wake up feeling groggy, even after a full night's rest. And then, somewhere in your mind, a little voice whispers, "You're getting old." But here's the truth, one I want you to really hear. That fog, that sluggishness, that forgetfulness, it's not the end of something. It's a signal. Your brain isn't shutting down. It's asking for nourishment. And not just the kind that comes from food, but from movement. Not fast movement, not hard movement, but thoughtful, mindful, brain-awakening movement. Let me introduce you to a new kind of practice. One that doesn't just get your blood pumping. It gets your neurons firing. This is a second game-changing hack, and it's one of the most powerful tools you can use at any age. Hack number 2, Neuro-Movement. Recharge your brain and body gently. Before we dive into the how, let me tell you a little story. There's a man named Charles. He's 76, a former math teacher, and proud grandfather of 6. After retiring, Charles thought life would slow down in a good way, but instead, he started to notice things slipping. He'd forget names. He'd lose his train of thought mid-conversation. Worse, he didn't feel like himself anymore. His days felt flat, like a song without melody. He tried going on walks to boost his energy, but they left him winded and frustrated. He even bought one of those brain game apps, but it felt like a chore. Nothing was working. Then a friend invited him to a movement class, not yoga, not Tai Chi, just a simple routine that blended slow physical movements with brain stimulation. It was designed specifically for seniors. Charles was skeptical. "How can touching my knee with the opposite hand do anything for my brain?" he joked. But he tried it, and by the end of the first week, something shifted. The exercises were simple. Sitting in a chair, he would slowly reach his right hand to his left knee and then switch sides. He practiced moving his eyes left to right while turning his head in the opposite direction. He mimicked walking motions while seated, all while staying relaxed and focused. These movements may seem minor, but they are neurologically rich. They wake up the corpus callosum, the bridge that connects both hemispheres of the brain. They improve coordination, stimulate balance, and most surprisingly, they reawaken your sense of alertness and motivation. Why does this matter so much? Because your brain is not a fixed machine. It is plastic, meaning it can reshape, rewire, and regenerate throughout your life. This is called neuroplasticity, and it doesn't end at age 30. It continues into your 70s, 80s, and beyond, but only if you engage it. Neuro-movement patterns are like gentle conversations between your body and your brain. They ask questions like, "Are you awake? Can you respond? Can you adapt?" When you do cross-lateral movements, like tapping your left hand to your right foot, you activate parts of your brain responsible for focus, rhythm, coordination, and short-term memory. That's why dancers often remain mentally sharp into old age. They're constantly feeding their brains new information through physical patterns. But you don't need to be a dancer. You just need a chair, a few minutes, and the willingness to try. Let's try something now, right where you are. Sit tall. Rest your hands on your lap. Now slowly reach your right hand to touch your left shoulder. Then return. Now left hand to right shoulder. Good. Now, let's add a little complexity. As you touch your shoulder, say your name aloud. Then switch hands and say the name of your favorite food. It seems silly, but this kind of cross-brain coordination activates working memory, speech centers, and motor control all at once. It's not about getting it perfect. It's about getting your neurons talking again. After just 3 weeks of daily 10-minute neuro-movement practice, Charles reported sharper thinking. He stopped losing track of conversations. He even started reading again, something he'd given up months ago. And perhaps most importantly, he felt motivated, not because he forced himself, but because something inside had reawakened. That's the power of these gentle, brain-first movements. They don't just work on your brain. They work on your mood, your confidence, your sense of momentum. Now let's add another layer. Neuro-movement can also help with fall prevention. Why? Because many falls in seniors are caused not by weak muscles, but by delayed brain response. Your body senses an imbalance, but your brain doesn't send a message fast enough to adjust. With consistent cross-pattern exercises, your reaction time improves, your balance steadies. You regain the sense that your body will catch you when you move. If you're thinking, I'm not coordinated enough for this, I want to stop you right there. That belief, it's just a leftover echo from perfectionism. You don't need to be graceful. You don't need to be quick. You just need to show up one slow movement at a time. Let me give you a quick routine you can try anytime, even from bed or while seated. Cross taps, right hand to left knee, left hand to right knee. 10 slow reps. Air circles. Draw circles in the air with one hand, then the other. Try going opposite directions. Head turns. Turn your head slowly side to side while keeping your eyes forward. Breath and reach. Inhale as you raise both hands. Exhale as you lower them. Finger plays. Tap each finger to your thumb in sequence. Then reverse. Then try eyes closed. Just 5 minutes. That's all it takes. You're not only strengthening your brain, you're telling yourself, I'm still here. I'm still sharp. I'm still learning. Because you are. And yet, even with all this, you might still be thinking, I want more energy. I still feel breathless after simple tasks. I want to feel better, not just move better. I hear you. And what comes next might be the most healing truth of all. Because the third game-changing hack requires no movement at all. It's not about your legs, your arms, or even your coordination. It's about something so basic, so constant, that we rarely think about it. But once you do, you'll never take it for granted again. Now that we've come this far, let's go even deeper. Part 3, the breath that heals, strength without strain. You've come a long way. And whether you're sitting in your living room, lying in bed, or listening on a walk of your own, I want to thank you for being here. We've talked about strength from your chair. We've explored how gentle movements can wake up your brain and steady your steps. But now, it's time to go even deeper, to the one place most people never think of when it comes to staying healthy, your breath. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly noticed your breath? Not just the fact that you're breathing, but the quality of your breath, the rhythm, the depth, the way it moves through your body. Most of us breathe without ever thinking about it. It's automatic, unconscious, and yet the breath is the only body system that we can control voluntarily, and that alone makes it incredibly powerful. In fact, your breath might just be the most underused health tool you have, especially if walking has become difficult, tiring, or even painful. Your breath can step in as both your healer and your strength builder. That brings us to the third and final game-changing hack. Hack number 3, rescue breathing. Build core strength, reduce anxiety, and boost energy while doing nothing at all. This isn't hyperbole. This is biology. Let's meet Evelyn. She's 81, lives alone, and used to be known for her endless energy. But after a difficult winter battling pneumonia, Evelyn's vitality seemed to vanish. Her breathing was shallow. She couldn't walk from one room to the next without needing to rest. She tried walking as advised, but it only made her more tired and anxious. She began turning down invitations, skipping activities, and withdrawing from the life she once loved, until her physical therapist taught her a breathing technique she had never heard of before: rescue breathing. At first, Evelyn laughed. "I've been breathing my whole life," she said. "What could possibly be new about it?" Turns out, plenty. You see, most of us, especially as we age or go through periods of stress, develop a pattern of shallow chest breathing. Our inhales are short, our shoulders rise, and our lower lungs barely get involved. This kind of breathing puts stress on the heart, raises cortisol, your stress hormone, and starves your muscles, including your brain, of optimal oxygen. But deep diaphragmatic breathing, breathing that begins in your belly, activates your body's natural healing systems. Here's how to do it. Sit comfortably or lie down flat. Place one hand on your chest, the other on your belly. Inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4. Try to fill your belly, not your chest. Exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 6. Feel your belly rise and fall. Feel your shoulders relax. Repeat for 5 to 10 minutes. This activates your vagus nerve, the command center of your parasympathetic nervous system. That's the part of your nervous system responsible for rest, digestion, healing, and immune function. It lowers your blood pressure. It stabilizes your mood. It literally reprograms your stress response. Evelyn practiced rescue breathing twice a day, once in the morning and once before bed. At first, she didn't notice much, but by the end of the first week, she realized she was sleeping better. Her heart rate felt steadier. Her hands didn't shake as much. By week 3, she had more stamina walking to the mailbox and wasn't winded coming back. But something else happened, too. She felt calm, connected, clear. "I didn't know breathing could make me feel whole again," she told her daughter. And here's the kicker. Deep breathing isn't just relaxing, it's strengthening. Every deep inhale you take works your diaphragm, the dome-shaped muscle below your lungs. That muscle is connected to your core, the muscles that support your spine, your posture, your balance, and yes, your pelvic floor. That means when you breathe deeply, you're not just calming your mind, you're strengthening your body, too. If you've ever struggled with posture, incontinence, or back pain, breathwork can support all 3. And here's something else to consider. Breathing fully helps improve oxygen delivery to every cell in your body. That includes your brain, your muscles, your digestive system, your skin. It's like giving your body a fresh cup of fuel without lifting a finger. Still not convinced? Let's go even deeper. In a recent study published in the Journal of Geriatric Cardiology, seniors who practiced diaphragmatic breathing daily for 4 weeks saw a measurable reduction in heart rate, improved blood oxygenation, and even increased grip strength. Why grip strength? Because the body isn't compartmentalized. When your nervous system is regulated, your whole body performs better. And there's a beautiful psychological benefit too. Deep breathing slows time. It helps you pause, reflect, come back to yourself. It quiets the noise. In a world that often moves too fast and expects you to keep up, your breath says, slow down. You are enough. You are safe. Here's a simple routine you can try right now. Morning reset. After waking up, sit on the edge of your bed. Take 5 deep belly breaths. With each exhale, say to yourself, today, I begin fresh. Afternoon reboot. Midday, close your eyes for 3 minutes and do a 4 to 6 breath cycle. Inhale for 4, exhale for 6. Evening release. Before bed, lie down, hands on belly, and practice gentle breathing while listening to soft music. With each breath, let go of the day. You can make this a ritual, a gift to yourself. Now, maybe you're still wondering, is this really enough? Can breathing, sitting, and gentle movements really replace walking? Let me offer you a new way of thinking. This isn't about replacing. It's about redefining. Health isn't about how far you walk. It's about how deeply you live. It's about the choices you make each day to honor your body, your energy, and your joy. It's about listening to what your body needs and trusting that it knows best. Some days that might be a walk, but many days it might be something quieter. And that's not weakness, that's wisdom. You've lived long enough to know that one-size-fits-all advice rarely works. You deserve a routine that adapts to you, not the other way around. So whether you start with a few chair exercises, some slow cross-body taps, or just 5 minutes of intentional breathing, know that every gentle action you take sends a powerful message to your body. I'm still here. I still matter. I still choose health. Aging isn't a decline. It's an evolution. It's the moment when all your past wisdom meets your present needs and creates a future of deep, meaningful wellness. You don't need to walk 5 miles to be healthy. You don't need to push through pain to prove your worth. You don't need to keep up with anyone but yourself. You just need to breathe. So as we close this video, I want to leave you with this. You are still growing, still healing, still becoming. And every breath you take is proof of that. Now inhale deeply, exhale slowly, and let your health journey begin right where you are. You've got this.